In this video, we're going to talk about how many Black Americans expect other Black Americans to shop at their businesses simply because they're Black, right? And I've been saying this before, many Black Americans have this unrelenting loyalty to being Black, and I think it's a problem. So this one's going to kind of tell us her experience with what she's had with Black-owned businesses.
As somebody who owns a small Black business, I tried my best. And I am going to tell you right now that the customer service is not the same. The business ethic is not the same. The quality is not the same. I don't know what it is about the sense of entitlement that small Black businesses have, as if we are obligated to support, regardless of the quality, regardless of the service experience, regardless.
A lot of us do. And again, I've said it's because we have this unrelenting loyalty to being Black. So in a lot of cases, I also think that's why you'll see Black Americans supporting Black criminals instead of just being realistic and saying, yeah, they should be going to jail, right? They're supporting that person unrelenting because they're Black, right? And you notice, and a lot of Black people don't want to say it, but it's the truth. The worst service I've gotten on a consistent basis has been from Black Americans. And I'm Black. Right, but most people won't say it because it's not, the politically correct thing to say. It's not nice to say, right? But that is a problem that we need to address and that we're not addressing. And those same people, and I might say this later, but a lot of those same people who are going to be saying, we've got the different, what's the best way to say it? The different levels of income, right? So they say there's what is it called? I'm blanking right now. The wealth gap, sorry, so the income and wealth gap. So they'll say, there's a wealth gap between these races, but they never talk about the jobs that each one of these races are doing, or the quality of service that they're providing, or the cultures within those services, right? They don't talk about that. They just say there's a wealth gap and they point to systemic racism and white people. But she wasn't done, so let's let her continue.
But I am here to tell you this. I did keep the same energy, and I have hired multiple Black contractors. Quality, horrible. The moment that I hired a Latino contractor, A1, no problem. I have hired Black-owned businesses, regardless if it is lawn care or repair. Can't depend on them. They don't show up on time. And then when they get there, instead of communicating, instead of, so sorry, I'm going to make up by doing this. You know how it goes sometimes, sister. So the fact that you wanted to have some type of correlation between Latino business, Hispanic businesses, and Black businesses, I want you to know that I spend my money where my money is appreciated, where my money is valued.
And many Black-owned businesses do not value other Black people's money. They just don't. They're not going to say it, again, because it's not politically correct to say, but that's the truth. But we need to actually address that instead of avoiding it. Me, for example, just recently bought a couple houses a little distance away from where I live, right? It's out of state. So I get on this app called Thumbtack, and I'm looking for a contractor in that area that can go put together some numbers for me to see what it would take to get these houses rent ready. So got a couple houses, go meet the guy. He's talking a good talk. Everything seems good. He's like, yep, I can get these two together for this price. You'll be good to go. I've done this before a million times. You'll be good to go. He overpromised a little bit because he was saying you're going to get daily reports, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. He was saying stuff I wasn't asking for, but I was like, you know what? He also mentioned he has a son. He said he's trying to get back on his feet, so I'm going to give him a chance, right? This is a Black guy, by the way. This is a Black guy. When I first met him, he was late, actually. And while he was late and I was waiting on him, there were some white men who were doing a sewer job across the street. They had a property management company. So he comes to me, asks, am I the owner? I said, yes. He introduced himself, told me what his company does, gave me his card. I said, thank you. I could have chose right there to go with him, but I didn't, right? Because I was like, I'm going to give this guy a shot. I gave him, I'm going to give him a shot. So I gave this guy a shot. Everything is going good. He's, working on the floors, baseboards, doing stuff for about 2 weeks. Okay, I pay him the first half of money up front, and then I agreed that after it was done, I'd pay the rest. So we agreed first half up front, then the rest after it was done. Okay, so everything's going okay. So I have some things I was questionable about, but I was still new at the time, and I'm still new. But anyway, going through the process, one night it's like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. He calls me. So he calls me and he's like, hey, bro, like, can I, my guys are kind of getting antsy. He has a crew that's working on these projects. They're getting antsy. I need to pay them. Can you send any money early so I can pay them? I was like, how much do you need? Right? He was like, whatever you can send. I was like, okay, cool. So I said, how about 250? He got pissed off at me for saying 250 and caught an attitude and saying, look, I need more than that. You got to send it to me now. I need this money now. The job's almost done. Send me the money. I'm like, hold on, bro. You haven't sent me any progress pictures. I don't know what the stuff looks like. So why would I send you the money when I have not been shown that the project is complete? He gets more irritated, bro. I got you by the balls. And I'm saying, now, since you want to play hardball with me, other stuff needs to be done. I'm going to charge you for that other stuff. I said, oh, okay. So, again, where are the pictures of the stuff that's done? Nothing. He says, all right, I'm going to have it all done by tomorrow. I'm going to send you pictures and I better have my money by tomorrow. So I said, okay. So I call up one of my boys. I'm like, hey, we got to go out of state tomorrow. So we hop in the car the next day. We drive down there. We get there. Neither one of the properties are done because he was going to take them from where they were and get them rent ready to where all I had to do was get them inspected. They passed inspection. I could start renting the properties out. Okay. He didn't do any of that. He got the floors done, a little bit of paint, and then partly the baseboards. Okay. I probably got, you could argue $2,000 to $4,000 worth of work. Anyway, he was such a headache to me, and I was like, this isn't really worth arguing with this guy and having to deal with this. I literally paid him to get him out of my hair. So I wasted probably $5,000 messing with him. And I was like, you know what? I'll just pay you this money and then you're done. You leave it be. He was like, bet. Took the money and ran. Right? And I told him in the beginning, hey, I'm looking to scale up in this area. I want at least 10 units here. I want 10 houses. So if this goes good, you'll be the guy I'll be using. Right? He literally stepped over $1 to pick up a dime. So he was, he could have been selling drugs or he could have been an addict. I don't know what his deal was. But my point is that now after that, guess who I went to? The white man that reached out to me. Both properties are now done. I paid for everything. They're both good. And all the contractors except for one were white. The rest were, or maybe a couple were Hispanic, white and Hispanic. None of my business is now going to black people when originally all of it almost would have been. But we don't talk about that. We're not going to talk about the fact that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're just going to blame the white man in the system, right? So now I worked with these white people and these Hispanics, no problems at all. Everything is going smooth. When I was working with black people, I got screwed over and threatened because I didn't give him money early. That's a problem. It's a problem. And like I said, we don't want to talk about it, but stuff like that is what keeps that income gap I was talking about earlier. It keeps it as large as it is or expanding, right? We need to do better, but no one wants to talk about that. So we've got a lot of stuff we need to clean up in our backyard rather than talking about racism, history, and the white man. So that's all I've got for today. I will see you on the next one. I'm out.